What did you want to be when you grew up back then?
The first time I could remember like answering that question was I wanted to be a dentist, like when I was younger. Not because I was into fucking teeth and shit, but because every time I would go to the dentist, my dentist was on vacation. And I just remember looking at my dad like, I want to be a dentist. And he's like, why? I was like, dude, he ain't never here. He's always on vacation. So I was like, for that reason, I'm in. Like, that was like the earliest thought I could remember, like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, a dentist. And they say, why? I was like, because mine's always on vacation, and that's how I want to spend my life.
Yelm had all kinds of people there from all over the world to follow a woman named Jay-Z Knight. Who was Jay-Z Knight? And what was the MTA School of Enlightenment?
So, so for those of you that don't know, Yelm is a small town in Washington, and there is a lady named Jay-Z Knight who I don't know if she still does or whatever, but has a cult following. So in this small town, people from all over the world would move to this town to follow this lady. Her name was Jay-Z Knight. I think she was maybe a small-time soap opera actress or something back in the day, and then started this shit called the MTA School of Enlightenment. And she was just on some a whole nother hype. But just the fact that, fuck, bro, like, I'm talking, I don't even know how many thousands upon thousands of people follow this lady and what she, what she speaks about, and what her thing kind of was is she would turn into Ramtha, which was like a 16th century like warrior that would speak through her, I guess was her shit. And that person would say, this is what's going to happen. You should live your life like this. This will protect you, blah, blah, blah. So it was, most people that moved to that town moved there to go fuck with this lady. Like, we didn't. My mom was a school bus driver, so a lot of my friends' parents were into that shit. We weren't, but having homies and shit, I would go, like, say my homies needed some, $20 for the weekend or whatever. Oh, my mom's doing a retreat. I would go with them to the retreat to grab the bread from mom, and we'd pull up in the middle of the fucking forest, and there'd be every fucking flag across the world flying high, and the place was just fucking packed, bro, and people just, whatever she was talking about, they resonated with it.
Were you ever curious to sit in and listen to what they were talking about?
No, I was probably just too young. Even though my homies were into that shit, and they did some cool shit at the schools, I'm not gonna lie, like, she did not a lot, but she did some things like that would trip you out on your mind. Like, I know for one, like, say you had that fucking coffee cup, they'd fucking make you go out to the woods, and I would grab it, go put it in the woods, come back, blindfold you, and then you have to use your mind and the fucking and what you're kind of gifted with to go find it. And some people would fucking walk right to it and find their shit. Like shit like that. You're like, what? What's this shit about? Another one is she had a crazy maze that you'd be blindfolded and you wouldn't fucking get unblindfolded until you made it out. So, she would do shit like that to just kind of make you tap into your true power that you have as a human. So that part interested me, but as far as all that other shit, I really wasn't a religious person like that. I was already on my own little vibe.
While living in Yelm, is this where you really start to notice graffiti?
Yeah, so high school, I think just like most everybody, high school comes, and like I said, so many people from all around the world came to my town. So by chance, random homie moved there, and I think he was from Bakersfield or Fresno or some shit, and he was into graffiti. And I just saw a new kid in school. He was just fucking catching tags on his notebook or whatever, and I was sitting next to him, and I was just like, oh, what's that? And he told me, oh, this is graffiti, this is that. Like, oh, okay. Like, it registered with me with the SOB and this, oh, that's what this is. Okay, he's doing what that kid was doing. I didn't put none of it together. I didn't even know that it was called anything about graffiti. I didn't know anything about the culture other than he was just scribbling in his fucking thing. And he kind of showed me what it was and told me, oh yeah, this, that, and he kind of sunned me on what it was. And I just got interested like that. Like, oh shit, okay, I want to do that.
Do you remember the name of your high school?
Yelm High School.
Yelm High School.
We actually just won the fucking state championship for football.
Oh,
I think
nice.
it's the first time ever for the town, so props to you guys.
Congrats. As you mentioned, in high school, you meet another young writer named Quick. And he kind of shows you the ropes as to what's going on with graffiti. What about his writing catches your eye, though? Why does it interest you so much?
I think because he knew, like, where to get, like, steal the caps off the bathroom cleaners and fucking first one to go. We had a store, he went rack paint. And, you know, when you're young like that, I was fucking like, oh, this shit's tight as fuck. And then he wrote Quick was his tag name. He wrote other names too, but I just remember him going up and doing a fat cap tag with like 6 flares. And just seeing that, I was like, oh, that shit tight as fuck. So just seeing him use the can this is really where I was like, oh, I want to try that.